पादमौलिपर्यन्तां गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेतेन विघ्नप्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धन्ति च मनोरथः लक्ष्मीं तनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षमङ्गलद्वयं निगमशाक्यशिखा प्रवालं हैरम्बमङ्गुरुहडम्बरचौर्यनिग्रहं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारधुरन्धरम् सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. So this is the Bhashya session for shlokas 14 to 16. So from 14th shloka is Naradokti. So Naradaha, he is giving a quote that is Samasta Lokanathasya Devadevasya Sharnginaha Sakshat Bhagavato Vishnoho Pujanam Janmanah Phalam. So why have we taken this Janma is because we because the Ichha was to understand Hari and worship him. Therefore, Vishnoho Pujanam eva idam janmanah phalam. That is the understanding over here. But we have already seen the meaning of why he is so important. Why is it understood like that? But saying that Samasta Lokanathasya, this is the first understanding. Samasta Lokanathasya Devasya Shargina. He is the Lokanatha. When we say Lokanatha, it is not in the meaning of a leader, because we are all seeing it in the terms of manifested form. So we are thinking, okay, he is the king or he is the lord or etc. etc. That is not the meaning over here. Lokanatha here is mostly reference to his all pervasiveness, omnipervasiveness. The reason is because he is the adhipati for everything. When he say that everything is within his control, he should have that control at the most minutest micro level. And that reference shows that the nature of Hari is that of the primordial matter. So everything is constructed through that, and therefore he is present in everyone, and therefore he is able to control everything. So Samasta Lokanathasya. So it doesn't matter. Now, why we say this? What we need to understand this, it is not limited. Manifestation is not limited only to humans or this world or this universe. So Devas are also manifested through him only. So therefore, we understand that when we say Samasta Lokanatha, Samasta Lokasya Nathaha, when we say he is the only thing that is common between the different existence planes, he is the only tattva that is common across different existence, and therefore he is able to control everything. So that is one thing. Then when we talk about when we talk about the puja, how do we worship him? For everybody else, that is for different devas, we can say that we need different kind of samagris. But for him, it doesn't matter, because anything that is created, if we use a samagri to him, it is through him only, because anything that we are going to use is also going to be manifested, which means he is also going to be a part of it. There is no differentiation over there. When we look at it from the level of, when look at it from the atomic level, there is no difference. So there comes the Kurma Purana's reference saying that Aishwaryadi Gunaihi Shadbhihi Samagriyat Sarvadevataha Bhagavat Shabda Vachascha Sakshatu Bhagavan Harihi Bhagavat Shabda Vachyascha, sorry. Bhagavat Shabda Vachyascha Vachyascha Vachyaha cha Sakshatu Bhagavan Harihi Nirapekshantu Samagriyam Hare Sarvadhikam Yataha. So this is from Kurma Purana. So Sakshat साक्षात् कारणे पूजनम इति वा सर्वस्वामित्वादीना पूजनम एव जन्मनः फलम इत्यर्थः. So that is the reason why we say that this janma's phala should be worship of Hari, is because sarvaswamitvadina. So worshipping that person, that tattva which is sarvaswamitva, which has the sarvaswamitva. So sarvaswamitvadina pujanam eva janmanah phalam ityarthaha. So what we need to understand is, what is pradhana is that his all he understanding the tattva, Hari tattva itself is important. We are not worshipping him just because um, he's a conception, or he's a part of this tattva. He is equivalent. This is probably the difference when we go for the Vedanta and the other darshanas. Vedanta has given a very specific equivalency between the Paramatma and the fundamental particles. So there we see that while we say there is one particle that is present everywhere, like for example, the God particle, the Higgs boson, like that, we find that he is all pervasive. He is all pervasive because he is there in everyone. That becomes the basis for saying that doing puja of him, realizing that everything is made of the same matter, is why we are able to how do we put it, is why we are supposed to is getting this janma is going to help us understand this tattva, that we have that primordial matter in all of us, and that is the reason why there is an equivalency. This doesn't negate Dvaita in any way, because Dvaita, the component is entirely different, the philosophy is entirely different. While there is an element of the primordial matter in all of us, we know there is no equivalency between the manifested and the unmanifested. And it can never regress or get reabsorbed into non-manifested forms. And that is the reason why the Dvaita philosophy gets very complicated to understand over and over. But trying to understand, and again, we will see in the next few, here we talked about Naradokti was simply with respect to Lokanatha, his and understanding that this Janma is where we can realize that he is something that we are all made up of, and therefore Samagri Puja is not a very special for him. Anything that we do arpana to him, anything we do naivedya for him, is again is manifested through him only. So there is not much speciality over there. But what is the speciality over there? That comes with the next one, that is the Pulastyokti. Here, Rishi Pulastya says that whatever it may be, bhaktya durvankurair kumbhihi. So that bhaktya is very important to us. Bhaktya bhaktyad archanad eva yajnadhi adikam mahaphalam ityaha bhaktiyoti bhaktihi iti bhaktyoti. Sorry, bhaktyeti it is. Bhaktyeti. Bhaktehe pradhanyam Jnapayan aha. So here what is important is that with bhakti, if we do his worship, pujitaha purushottamaha, then harir dadati phalam sarvayajnaishcha durlabham. So here bhakti bhava, we can understand that while Advaita goes mostly towards Jnana Yoga, and there is prominence given to Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga in Vishishta Dvaita. Dvaita speaks richly of Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Bhava is extremely important. So that is where Bhakti Purvak Bhakti Purvaka Archanam Eva Moksha Sadhanam Iti Aha. Aha is to say. So that is the meaning, that the change, where does it get special if everything is actually from him? What is our contribution to it when we are doing? Because specification is that we are not rejecting the manifested forms. So I am doing his puja through flowers or through tulsi or through something else. Then why? What is the value addition to this? It is bhakti that is bringing about a change. That is the bhakti bhava, and that is the importance of it, is that with bhakti bhava these matters are special to him, because it is like a guru and a shishya. A guru is trying to give the tattva, that is he trying to give the principle, the concept of something. So let us say he's trying to understand Pythagoras theorem, for example. He's trying to teach his students Pythagoras theorem. So he teaches Pythagoras theorem, saying that there are three sides of a triangle. Each of them, there is a right angle and there are two other angles. And then there is a hypotenuse, there is a base, and there is an adjacent. And then the square root of the sum of the squares of the sum and the adjacent and the base is going to be the measurement of the hypotenuse. This is the tattva. When the tattva is given to the shishya, he learns it, and then finally when he starts to apply what he has learnt, he starts to use this Pythagoras theorem in let us say architecture. He starts learning something else to out of it. When he starts using it, then there is a sarthakatva. So while everything is made up of Hari Tattva, while everything in its atomic nature, when we are talking about the primordial particle, is the same, everybody has the God particle, then what is the point of worshipping? What is this difference? What is the speciality in worshipping something that has manifested out of the God particle to worship the God particle? The value addition here is bhakti bhava. That brings about a change. That brings about a change that attracts the Godhead, Supreme Godhead, or the personality of Godhead, or Hari. And therefore, this bhakti bhava has that much of a power, and it has been very specifically spoken about in Dvaita. Then, as we go on to the next next shloka, vidhina deva deveshah शंखचक्रधरो हरिः फलं ददाति सुलभं सलिलेनापि पूजितः. Salilena api pujitah. This we have already spoken about this in the previous one also. This is also again Pulastya's opinion, his ukti. So what is the importance over here? Specifically, they are talking about his form. Shankha Chakra Dhara, Shankha Chakra, no, Shankha Chakra Dharo Harihi, Dharaha Harihi. Why this form? Because when we talked about his form in the previous ones, we understood that he is the primordial matter or the particle. In that case, there cannot be any forms, right? He is almost close to, what do we say, unmanifested form. Because manifested is what we are seeing. Actually, there is no mahatva over there. We cannot say it is unmanifested. There is guna. There is sadguna over there. We cannot say there isn't any manifested form, but why are we taking it in him, taking him in this form? Why there is a nishiddha for any other form? So for this, there is actually a reference. So that is chakradi chinha hinastu yaha pujayati keshavam tat satve viphalam yati pujanam puja mantra japadikam. So they have given a quote also saying that it is extremely important to do the puja, that is Hari Puja, should be conducted or should be initiated by imagining Hari as a Shankha Chakra Gadadhara. Actually, Gadha has not been included. Shankha Chakra Dharanam is extremely important. The reason is because the Chakra Sudarshana, as we know it, it is said to be the Kundalini Chakri, Kundalini energy manifested of Hari, of Narayana. Shankha is said to be the manifestation of the initial Shabda Brahma, Vak, the manifestation of Shabda, not manifest Shabda, Vak, a sound, manifestation of sound into something else. So sound in its electromagnetic form is not heard or anything. It has to be converted into mechanical form. When it reaches mechanical form, it needs one medium, and then it starts to, then we can hear it. Electromagnetic form, maybe different beings can hear it. We cannot hear it. So this is possible. So this indication is chakra and shankha dharanam vidhina. It is only possible through a methodical process of pursuing it. Because Kundalini Shakti is not going to be energized, it is not going to be, it is not going to manifest just because he is Narayana. He has to bring about that Samagra Chaitanya together, and then he brings, energizes the chakra. So that is the meaning of Shankha and Chakra. Now, why this Dharanam is important? There are two parts to it. One is that we cannot understand him in his atomic form. Even when I'm saying there is a God particle, or within an atom there is one electron, neutron, or whatever it may be, I'm not able to conceive the positive or the negative charges of those particles. What I'm able to do is I'm going to see one nucleus, and I'm going to, if I start imagining, I'll see one electron, maybe in some color, maybe I'm going to see something that is orbiting it. So we humans have a limitation with respect to our imagination powers, because we can only imagine something. Actually, we can only imagine something. There cannot be nothing, and then it is not possible for us to imagine nothing. It's a very tricky thing. It's a tricky understanding to see something without mahatva. So some akara, some rupa, something has to be there. Only then it gets mahatva. So now when I say Shankha Chakra Dharanam, Vidhina Dharanam, he has done it, manifesting him, manifesting Hari Tattva to Hari. At that point of time, what happens is that it's extremely important to understand that the energy has been accumulated, it has been focused, and that is resulting into the alteration of sound waves, particles, that is leading to manipulation of matter, which is leading to manifestation of material things. So these two are the indications. Without this, if we try to imagine Hari, we are going to imagine him like us, because we cannot imagine him in his atomic form. We can say Paramanu Rupa Sriman Narayana, we can say, but we cannot imagine him that way. Then when I do dhyana, what happens is, if I remember, if I am able to memorize his akara, then without Shankha and Chakra, he's going to be normal like me. No changes. He's going to be a normal human being. If we give him four hands, he's going to be a mutated human being. Not that's all. There's not going to be any changes over there. Then why the Hari Rupa is extremely important? It is because the energy and manipulation of matter can take place through sound waves. And these two indications shows that he is the manifested form. That means the energy has resulted in his form being coming into that akara. So this is the importance of Swarupa also. Why Dvaita specifically speaks about Sadguna Brahman or the manifested forms is because of this. Because we humans are not capable of understanding something that isn't manifested. So unless and until we reach that state where we are able to conceive his akara as Shankachakra Dhara, the one who is holding the Shankha and Chakra, and he is there are many other Visheshanas given, but these two are important. Then only our phalas, that is a phala, is realizing him as the primordial matter that can happen. So here it says Chakra Chinha Vihinastu. Without it, Vihinastu Yaha Pujayati Keshavam, those who worship Keshava, tat sarvam viphalam, that sarvam viphalam yati puja mantra japadikam. So all the mantra japa, all those things are viphala if we do not imagine him with his shankha and chakra. That is the importance. So this is the concept behind all these three shlokas. Astu. We will explore more with the next few shlokas. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा गो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि.